First of all, congratulations on the top 50 restaurants in America.
I used to tell people, like some close friends, I feel like I'm sitting in a bullet train. Everything is moving so fast. That's when I started drifting a little from engineering and falling in love with cooking.
You were actually studying civil engineering. What inspired you to say, you know what, I'm gonna, think about food?
I feel like I'm not paying homage for like my culture. I cannot say chef because like I was a chef, but not a Middle Eastern chef. I do not cook boring.
But let's go back where all this started. So from structure blueprint to raging open fire, how does an engineering student become the mastermind behind one of the absolute best restaurants in America? Welcome back to Knowledge Seeker. I'm your host Farhan Mirza. So today we're gonna sit down with Chef Khaled AlBanna, who is the co-owner of Calliope and executive chef here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. In just short 4 years, he landed the spot in New York Times Best 50 Restaurants in America list. Today we're gonna dive into his journey from Amman, Jordan to American South and the brutal reality of sudden fame and the craft of Levantine cooking. Chef Khaled.
Hello.
Welcome to Knowledge Seeker.
Thank you for the invite.
You're very welcome. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Good, nice
So,
media.
first of all, congratulations on the top 50 restaurants in America.
Thank you.
For Time magazine, correct?
Yes.
Wow,
Times, yeah.
that's a great achievement.
Yeah, it was a great surprise.
Yeah. So before we, talk about more about that, let's go back where all this started. So you're living in Amman, Jordan.
Yes.
And what make you decided to come to the United States?
So I think from an early age, by early age, I mean like early high school, even before high school. In 2007, I was with the family followed my dad. He was teaching in Dubai. Mm-hmm. So we lived there during 2007. I think 2008 came back. I don't have the dates correct, I'm forgetting things. But I lived the whole year there, went to school for a whole year. And when I went back to Jordan, I feel like that's when I was like, okay, I like this. I like leaving. I want to try new places and so on. And throughout high school, my mission was to leave again. Where exactly? It was. I didn't think it's going to be the United States. I was even down like to go back to Dubai or Egypt. Closer to my junior year. That's when I was like, all right, I wanna try an actual like completely different culture. I want to see a culture shock. I want to learn new things. I want to meet new people. Obviously, the U.S. For any like immigrant is what you think.
Yeah, about. It's a land of opportunity.
Land of opportunity, and I wanted to go to school here. And I wanted to actually like, okay, I'm going to go back. And one thing led to another, and I'm still here.
What basically inspired you, or I would want to say, what basically intrigued you when you were basically studying engineering? Mm-hmm. And then you said, you know what, I'm going to, think about food. What, there is any certain like moment that you said, okay, well, the food I'm eating right now in America is not the way back home.
Yes.
And I want to try something that feels home to me.
Yes. I think while I'm studying and working, I think especially for, again, a kid, I don't have family here. I didn't have family. I don't have family here.
All your parents and siblings were back home.
All my family is still over in Jordan, Dubai, Egypt.
All over the place.
All over the place. Yeah, I'm probably forgetting some people. They are. There's. Like,
they're gonna be mad now.
I think there's people in England too. Yeah.
Okay.
It was a little mentally chaotic. What am I doing? I'm trying to like, okay, get this going. I need a car. I need this. It was moving fast. I used to tell people, like some close friends to me, like, when you're sitting with friends and just like complaining a little and so on, I was like, I feel like I'm sitting in a bullet train. Everything is moving so fast. It's moving so fast. I'm trying to catch up and end up on the same level so I can like continue with life,
So you were living at that time in Alabama when this thing was
That started actually, no, I started feeling like that after being 2 years here, because like the first year I was just the first couple of years I was just like completely focused, immersed on school. There was no other distractions.
So when
or
you
anything.
moved here, you were living in Alabama or
Yeah.
Okay, Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama. When I moved to the United States, I
Okay.
was in Alabama.
And this is you start thinking about that everything is so chaotic and fast, and that you were
To be honest, it's when I moved to Tennessee. Because I
okay.
didn't think about life as life. I was just a college student in
Okay.
Alabama. I didn't mind anything else. I think the first year I didn't even have a job. I was just like completely. I had the school money from the school. Everything was taken care of. I was good. I was just like trying to figure out the system, how everything operates. That's it. I was going to school, doing my homework, hanging out with friends at the dorms, going to sleep, repeat, not doing anything. Moved here. I think after 2 years, you settle down and you understand this is life. This is what I'm doing, and you want to start like living more and like meeting people and going here and seeing opportunities. Okay, you're thinking about your internship. You learn. You're meeting people out of school, and that's when I realized, all right, okay, I need to move out of the college campus. I need the car to be able to go to here to work, do this job rather than being limited by a bicycle, which is a few blocks. There is nothing really when I moved here, like in 2011. Like there was a few restaurants you can work at least what I wanted. This is what I wanted to do. There was other jobs, obviously, for college students, but I wanted to cook.
Oh, okay.
Fun in the kitchen. I like the diversity of it. I like the different mentalities that are in a restaurant. I like the pressure. Like everything is burning. Everything is on fire. Let's get this done. Then there's the cleaning. There's the pride of like starting with a clean kitchen, prepping, executing food. By the time you close the door,
process,
it has
I
to
think,
be clean canvas again. There's and the focus. You cannot be thinking about your girlfriend while you're sitting there cutting onions because you're gonna lose all your fingers. You cannot be frying something and thinking about your homework. You blow up the space. Everything is on fire. There's a focus that comes with it. Obviously, it's not a surgery room. It's not as serious. It's food. But it can get as dangerous. You can hurt people.
Well, I mean, some people, chef might say, well, it is kind of surgery because you're using knife and all these.
And there's
utensils
people running
and the
around.
people are around. And you're doing basically surgery to a food.
Yeah, it's more control. It's a controlled chaos.
Controlled chaos.
You can have chaos in surgery room. So like, I feel I fell in love with that.
So you fell in love with the process, or you fell in love with like making things like with your hands, like a food and things like that?
I think I fell in. I started before. There's different, as you know, there's different kinds of restaurants. The ones I started at while I'm in college, it was mostly like pulling from this bag, this freezer, and so on. It was like sandwiches here, maybe did some pizza and so on, and
not the fancy ones.
There's not fancy. So I believe I enjoyed the process.
Okay.
I enjoyed meeting people, the social life that came with the being in the hospitality industry.
Yeah.
When my craving for more knowledge. And when I started seeing things online, pictures of dishes, articles about chefs, I felt like I'm the lowest on the totem pole, and I hated that. I didn't like it. I was like, I need to start climbing the ladder. I was like, if I love doing this, I need to become one day one of the best, or like keep trying. And that's when I started
competitive.
Traveling. Yeah, I started traveling, learning, ended up in New York, Chicago, Atlanta.
Okay, so you're going very fast right now. You're going back from New York.
Yeah.
So let's scale back.
Yeah.
So you went to New York to learn about food, correct?
Yes, doing
not to study or anything like that.
No, think about them like not think about them. They are literally like a spring break. Winter break, rather than I took some summer school.
Okay.
But UTC, like there's some the classes that are broken. It's not like a whole semester. Mm-hmm. So like I ended up like maybe I'll take classes in June or August, and the others I'm free. And I'll go there for 2 months. I never actually went and traveled, so moved states to work completely till after college, so that didn't start till 2014 really.
So you went to New York. You stayed there for how long?
The first time like a week.
Okay. Next time?
6 months.
6 months. So in 6 months, you learn about the food, the culture, and the
Yeah.
process, and all
Yeah.
that. I mean, where you can, the best thing you can learn, New York City.
Yeah. Yeah.
the great New York City. So from there, then you moved to Chicago, I believe.
No, that's actually, so every time I left, my goal was to come back to Chattanooga.
Okay.
And that's what I tell people, even my young cooks and so on, because they want to travel. I was like, travel, see everything.
Come back.
And go with your gut feeling. If you feel like coming back, do not fight it. Come back because something is pulling you. And I always wanted to cook in Chicago and open a restaurant there and so on. But there was something pulling me. And it was just life experiences, relationships, and so on. And I ended up being the most successful of myself at this moment by like embracing that this is right now my hometown and this is what I'm giving.
In Chicago, while you were in Chicago?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I ended up coming always back.
Do you come back to Chattanooga?
Yeah.
Okay. So doing engineering, all that, and, learning about the process and food, where this, a young guy, a student, doing engineering and all that, and then become the top chef, and then his restaurant become the top 50 restaurants in America, Calliope.
Yeah.
How this Calliope idea came? First of all, Calliope, I think it's a Greek word, correct?
Yeah.
It means great voice or
yeah, it's beautiful voice.
beautiful voice. Beautiful voice, yes.
That's why the name was picked, because of that meaning.
The beautiful voice.
Yes, it has a lot of different meanings. It's a music instrument. So the muse Calliope was the muse of poetry. That's why they call their Calliope the beautiful voice.
The beautiful voice.
Narrated poetry. When I was ready, and like a lot of people, COVID break, call it that break, COVID disaster, whatever it was an eye opener for a lot of people, if not most people. And that's when I figured out, all right, I want to focus on myself. I want to start building Khaled. And I had always surrounded with myself with either personally or professionally people that have the same goals, better goals, and so on to learn from. It's just something I did and I was taught since I was young. It's not intentional. It was just like how life rolled kind of thing. And I found myself, I have all the tools. I have a good group of friends and professionals that we already work together that we can execute this idea and idea of opening a restaurant.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with Calliope yet. It was not going to be
It was
Calliope.
just, yeah, okay.
It was
just
a restaurant. It was actually, we were going to open like a nice French kind of bistro.
Okay.
Name picked, menu picked, everything picked. We started planning. It took like around 6 months into planning, looking into things, figuring out financials and so on. And one day we're sitting on Hexen Pike at Chattanooga here on the North Shore area, where Tremont is on the patio. Not Tremont patio, just on a patio of a house. And sunny day, burning hot, sitting out there in shorts and so on, the four of us. And I just stopped and I was like, I don't know if I feel good about like yes, I was trained like this. This is the things I know what to do and so on. But I feel like there's something, the excitement of something is off about the whole project. I feel like I'm not paying homage for like my culture, like as a Middle Eastern. I cannot say chef because like I was a chef, but not a Middle Eastern chef. I was a chef in like chefing other cuisines. But
so you wanted to basically bring the culture and the food of your home country, Middle East, to Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, and it was a less exciting than that. I just wanted to pay homage for my culture and traditions, and I was already for a year or so. Got immersed back into like Middle Eastern cuisine, cooking it at home, a little like for family. We call them staff meals, family meals, and the restaurants I worked at. And I was like owning my skill at it, kind of. And I was like, I want to do this. And I remember my friend my also was Calliope's co-owner, Joy Mason. She was like, I think this is a great idea. You should do this. And Raven, my current partner.
So you have like 4 friends. You were saying that you were sitting with them.
Yeah.
That 2 of them.
Two of them are
your co-owners.
my
business partners. Okay.
Business partners, operators. One was a sommelier. The other, Raven Humphrey, is a co-owner at also Calliope. Still my co-owner at Calliope. Is the beverage director, event coordinator. She runs the business. She's the face of the business.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are behind the scene. She's the face.
I'm behind. I love to be behind the scene. I get behind the scene. I keep getting pulled out. So like I'm like, keep me behind the scene. And it seems like year by year I'm like disappearing from behind the scene, and I'm more like front. Right
front now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think, and I'm just like learning to embrace it and know this is the nature of the business. That's how it is. Things are settling, things are going. It's knock on wood. It's a well-oiled machine, and it's happening.
So you came up this idea that I want to basically honor my heritage, my culture, my food, and all that. So then, okay, you were sitting with 4 friends. Where did this idea come from now?
And we started talking about it. We were like, all right, let's wrap this up. And I just get back a few weeks after that. We meet again. And we're like, I'm going to do this. A modern Levantine restaurant. Levantine, the Middle Eastern food. Yeah. And I want to do this. It's going to be like kind of like Spanish tapas style. We're going to start with like hopefully like very little and grow from there. This is the business plan. I think is doable. And then we started discussing beverage. Is it, can we match it? Can we pair it? And so on. Is the product available in the market? All right. Okay. A few weeks later, we're getting things together, and eventually we end up on, all right, we figured everything. We don't have a name. That's how fast we were moving on it, because there was a lot of excitement. I talked to a lot of people, and I wish you were there. Like, I feel like most people would be like, you would be losing friends, losing family members. You stop talking to them because everyone is so negative about it.
Yes.
Like, no one is going to support this. No one cares about it. No one needs it. Everyone wants French fries and burgers. We already have nice restaurants in town. I'm like, they were like very like...
You have to have naysayers in order to move forward.
Yeah. So like everyone, a lot of people, I would say 99% of people were...
This is the thing. This is, and I usually also, we say is, the most people basically hold you back is not your enemies.
No.
It's your own family members or your friends.
Yeah.
Not they don't have a bad intention or anything. They just don't want to, see you hurt or something like that. Or they basically wanted to do something and they wanted to reach their dreams, but for some reason they did not reach that dream.
Yes.
But they see you that you are trying to reach your dreams. And they say, well, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. Yeah. But I'm so glad that you didn't listen to anybody.
Yeah.
Please, go ahead.
When I heard those things, I was like, I'm going to prove them wrong. It gave me a lot more motivation.
Yeah.
That I believe like... that's how I was talking about Calliope a lot at the beginning. Food breaks barriers. Introduces cultures to each other, is something to come around the table, to sit around the table for.
You can stop the wars on the dining table.
Yeah, that's what actually happens sometimes. Sometimes phone calls,
Yeah.
Sometimes phone calls, but it's usually there's a table involved, And in all cultures, all families, and so on, everyone used to come in around the table, and even older cultures, a long time ago, they used to solve also like tribal conflict and so on by offering this like animal or food, a feast or some kind, Food is most
food is very big in I mean not only Middle Eastern culture, in our culture like Pakistan, India, this area. Food is like kind of everything.
There's food at the funeral. There's food at a wedding. There's food when you're celebrating a new birth. There's food at the graduation.
Even if you get a new job or new socks, maybe sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's go back. And so who come up with this name, Calliope?
Yeah, Calliope, I did.
You did, okay.
They were like, let's write names and so on. And we had some stuff going on. And I said Calliope. And they were like, why? I was like, it means the beautiful voice. And it resonated with me because I remember from my past jobs, being an executive chef and so on, trying to always put me on camera, do like things for social media and so on. I was like, I do not like being out there. I prefer like people to come in and experience it. I want the food, the ambience, everything to talk about itself and people to get it. And when I read this name, and I dug deeper into the meaning of it and said the beautiful voice, I was like, this means a lot of things for me, because I want this place, when people come in with when it comes to ambience, experience, and so on, how they feel when they're meeting with their friends over my food, our drinks, and so on. That's the voice. This is telling them the experience, what Calliope is, what's Levantine, what's the Middle Eastern experience is.
So you wanted the people, I mean, in Tennessee and especially in Chattanooga, to come to your restaurant and they feel like they're in Jordan, Amman, Jordan kind of thing.
Not like physical, but more of like more
the
vibe
experience,
and energy.
The energy, yeah.
Yeah, because back home, like at least in like the restaurants I've been to in Jordan, Egypt, Dubai, like you sit in and like there's very few like tables for two. It's tables like sometimes square round tables like that seat 4, 5, 6, 8 big tables. You know, it doesn't matter if the food is casual, upscale, fine dining. They are large tables because you eat in gatherings.
In gatherings, yeah.
Gatherings with people. You connect with them. It's either a business meeting or a friendly meeting, or you're celebrating each other for, as we said, graduation, about to get married, this. Or just a fun night, Friday, Saturday night out, and we're gonna eat good food and reconnect. It's not, you do not just eat and leave a restaurant. You eat, sit down, and connect over food. You eat slow, enjoy it. You share plates. It's a emotional connection between people. It's not just I got my entree, I ate my steak. Have a good night. Good to see you today, and left. This is not dining.
So this is, I mean, it is dining, but it is like we call the family dining, or like experience that you're basically having experience.
I meant like for Calliope. This is not the dining we're looking for.
Yeah. So, okay, you came up with the name, and then you basically, pulled the trigger to start the restaurant.
And looking at spaces, realizing how much more money we need than what we thought. That's the nature of it. And luckily, I think we were like very honest to each other and to everyone we talked about. We had the great opportunities fall right in front of our feet, like as a pop-up residency in Rossville, then being downtown on MLK. All those came to us in perfect timings and so on, and gave us the correct growth for a business, rather than going in with a huge debt, going in with a huge space immediately, trying to catch up to the space, or trying to catch up to the negative money in your bank account, the loans you own, and so on. It was so gradual that we let the business like you would let a child. You do not take. Child is not born and you immediately throw them in first grade. So we had like nice, very slow
small
first
steps.
2 years of like the restaurant develop its own rhythm, momentum, and then go on. And that's when things started going off. It was 2023, 2 years into the restaurant.
So you started this in 2021 or 2023?
We started as the pop-up. We call it residency in September 2021.
September 2021.
September 18th, 2021.
So from September 2021 to 2025, you become one of the top 50 restaurants in the U.S.
Yeah.
So what was the moment you realized that, okay, we can make this restaurant to the top level? Your team, your
beforehand, before we got that, we always were, we set the expectations for ourselves, the team, everyone as a whole, that when we do something, we're going to do it to our best ability today. And tomorrow we're going to learn from what we learned yesterday and try to increase it a little bit more. And we're going to continue with doing that till we almost perfect it, which is like a very hard, so as they say, it's impossible, because you're always going to judge yourself. You're going to want a better product, teach people learn, the creative juices starts flowing, things get a little boring or routine, you want to change it. And this is one thing about even as in our logo and our mission, we have the bird and the star. That means like every day is a new day. We're going to be okay with change. Things are not consistent. Inconsistency is fine. Our consistent thing is good food and good service, good experience for the guest. This is the consistency I was looking for. There, when it comes to food, I want them to. I cannot put a menu to represent the Middle East and not change it because there's so much food.
So much food, yeah, yeah.
They need to learn what it is. It's one restaurant that now I'm offering that is offering this, and I would like them to see as much as possible. So we flip with the cuisine. I'm also like, I care a lot about we care a lot about our local farmers, what they're doing, and so on. So we had to learn also how to cook our Middle Eastern, which was perfect because we are calling it modern Middle Eastern cuisine. So like we had to incorporate like our local ingredients and so on, which added a little fun fusion into the food by using our local ingredients and what we can find around us. By the time we reached that and hit 50, and we were surprised, we didn't know what's happening really.
Somebody called you, or you learned? How did you learn? How did you learn that?
So, a couple of weeks before it came out, so we have Tim, our marketing, not just marketing as like he posts stories and so on. He's very in the restaurant. Creatively with us and so on. He has been a huge one of like there's a lot of reasons where we at, and this is very like important part of it. Every part of the team is very important, and Tim added so much to us. And I'm mentioning it because there's a lot of hands in the pot, you know, kind of thing. We first got an email saying like, can y'all send us like pictures and so on, and we get a lot of those. I remember forwarding it to Tim, and Tim just simply like we do always. Here's some pictures from the archives. Send email, done. 2-3 weeks later, we just found an email forwarding us the article. And I was like, what? Is this real? And I went on, like, you know, you go down to the email to see the signature. I wanted to see who it is. Like, you know how things are crazy now, spams and all that stuff, you know, fake things. I copy it. There's a number of copy it. I'm like, this is real. This is actually like the signature page and so on. I send it to all the team. Super excited. Happy. Not thinking who talked to, did we know, did someone in the team, did Tim receive an email, this is happening and he's hiding it for us, our excitement, did Draven do, did someone else do my suit? No, Corey.
You thought it was like some kind of a prank or something, like a joke?
At the beginning, yeah. No, like I thought I didn't think it's serious, right? Then I believed that, okay, I looked it up. I was like, this is a serious thing. This is actually, we received this. Okay, I sent it to the whole team through our conversation groups, emails, and so on. Forward, celebrate it. Good job, everyone. Then when we realized by the end of that night, it was a Tuesday, we're like, okay, who are those people? How did they come in here? Like, what happened? Did someone... anyone receive an email? And that's when we remembered, like, wait, there's someone that came and asked for the archives. Hey, Tim, did someone ever send you anything? They were like, no, but they said we're going to reach out for you to proof an article that's about to come out, but we never proved it. I was like, interesting. Well, that's good because I like surprises more, you know?
Yeah.
And it turned out to, like, for now, what I understand from the team, no one knows anything, you know? And it just came out.
That's a big deal. I mean, of course, New York Times and, you know, how many restaurants are in America.
Yeah.
And in probably 4 years, you got to that level.
Yeah.
So
that's a huge honor. We, as I said, we've been very. Obviously, it has to do with the recruitment and so on, but also there's a huge thing about like luck and so on when it comes to like because you can recruit as many people as you want to, but having so many creative individuals under one roof is there's something to be said about that because it makes things easier. Kinda.
Yeah, I mean, I think without great people, you cannot. So there's a very famous phrase actually. This is, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you're gonna go further, you go with somebody.
Yes.
So if you have a good team, that's how you make things happen, and that's how you grow and get to this level that you basically nominated in like top 50 restaurants in America. So being now on Time Magazine and top 50 restaurant in America, how's the pressure now on you and the team?
I think everyone on the team, everyone involved will share has the same feeling, I believe.
Because now
Before
you're
it
on
was
the level.
Calliope. People coming in, either you've been there, you know what you expected, and you're coming because you like it, love it, even maybe give us a second chance, you know? Something happened, it happens, it's a restaurant. We always deliver, and we want to deliver over the expectations. We were equipped for that. After this happened, the 50 best, and then there was I think another one. Then there was in this February, the James Beard nomination.
That's also
it kept raising expectations. This is when it became like people coming into the restaurant, people making reservations, walking in, having the expectations in their head that we're gonna expect the best service of our life. And I was like, oh,
that's a lot of pressure.
and I'm like, we have to deliver on this. We were delivering on like in different level. Now everything has to be tightened more. We took a simple approach to it as like, we got to this point because of what we were doing. Our job now, and we need to be careful to continue doing what we're doing, continuing to be thoughtful, thinking about the guest and their experience more, how to always make it better. Even if they visit here 2-3 times, let's think about how to make each one different and keep improving it. So it became like more systems in place, increasing the team, scaling, key individuals, highest creativity and so on, highest loyalty, like get on management team and add those, let all those like brainstorming, big room. You should see our meetings when we sit down. So many brains. It's like, all right, we're not NASA, guys.
I actually honestly saw your growth because remember when it was newly open, I came and all that, and I saw the growth. So that's why, like I said, I'm kind of really proud of you. And not only me, but I mean, a lot of, Chattanoogans are kind of proud of you because from, in 4 years, you got to this level. And also you talk about the James Beard Award. You were the semi-finalist on that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that, how this...
we got nominated for Best Chef Southeast, I believe. Right?
Southeast, yes. Southeast.
How was the... I think it was also a Tuesday. They keep falling on a Tuesday, and we keep waking up to them, and
so Tuesdays you're lucky.
I love it. I love surprises. It's my thing. It's like, like when you're living life and running businesses, and there's the stress. There's a lot of stress: the financial, the team, keeping morale, culture. Again, money is always a go. Repeat with the money, keeping doors open, making sure we wow the guests every single time. There's a lot of stress that takes mental pressure. It'll put like, there's a word I think for it, like you end up your shoulders like down a little, then some out of surprise rather than something planned, and it's coming, just like removes all that load off of your back, off of your shoulders, and you're like reborn kind of thing, and you come in again with a lot of motivation, enthusiasm, and like you start fresh, like it's your first day at a new job again. I'm excited and so on. At least that's how it used to be for me. First day at a new job, I love that feeling. That's all it came from it. It was exciting. We sent it's just like we do, shared it with the team, celebrated it, and we still again doubled down on like continue doing what we're doing. We're not changing things, but still we changed things that it gave us more confidence to, which was already like planned for throughout the years of Calliope. This is how we're gonna not increase our menu, open up, get more risky with the menu, try more style. And I think through all those accolades, this is when we started feeling more comfortable and taking the risk of like, let's show them what actual like mezze is. What's our like Middle Eastern experience of having multiple small plates and sharing it rather than the traditional like first course, second course kind of like experience.
Experience, yeah.
That was hard for us at the beginning, and now people like our guests come in and are more like, yeah, what do you give me what you want? So just do it, you know.
So now, I mean, with all this, fame and all that, the pressure, of course, on you guys now, how you basically motivate yourself and also how you motivate your team on a daily basis?
Motivating the team, start with that. That has to when you have a canvas, such like Calliope, there's a lot of restaurants even in town like that. You gotta like keep things fresh. You gotta those people that team members are not just there as they're not laborers.
They're the team members, yeah.
They team members. They think about what they're doing. They coming there to learn something, a skill, a craft. You cannot have things like just stagnant. You cannot have just a routine. They are hungry. They're thirsty to learn more things. You gotta keep things evolving. You gotta keep things changing. You gotta have enough place for spots for growth and so on. And that's how we keep everything motivated. They are also, I believe, everyone on the team gets motivated because even those accolades, like most of them are related to the whole restaurant. Some of them are me personally or Raven personally, but we also wouldn't have got them without our team. This is 100%. I couldn't have cooked for all those thousands of people alone for the past 4 years. So even like being the best chef, I'm not cooking everyone's dish. I'm not doing the hummus then doing your fish. I'm not like I have a
team.
Yeah. So this is also motivation for them because they know, okay, we are good. We're continuing learning and keeping it fresh. The motivation for me is kind of 50% motivation, 50%. I'm like, all right, this is getting scary now. Like you cannot drop. There's no there's no more for like you gotta stay on top of your game. I call it sometimes like when I'm speaking casually, study. It is studying, but like you got to like look at things, what other people are doing, and it's not usually like you should be very connected with your local, whatever your industry and what they're doing. Like for restaurants, what this restaurant is doing, what's this? You got to do this. It's part of the business. It's part of like knowing as a craft what you are doing. Because there's that friendly competition, but I also like doing like more of like worldwide, like what's happening here. There's this Middle Eastern restaurant in
so you're
Japan.
Doing research,
what is it doing here? Okay. You got to do your due diligence on like learning from chefs, buying books. There's this fermentation book came out. Okay, increasing your skill sets.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a if you're in constructions and you have just a hammer, that doesn't work. You got to increase your tool set. You got to have different things, and you continue learning, and you move, and you teach the team. You continue learning and move it and go on, and it helps with the hierarchy. You teach the sous chef, you teach your chef de cuisine, CDPs, whatever, and they teach the cooks, and just the cycle goes, and you promote and make everyone involved in something. No one has a job less than the other. Everyone is in an integral.
Everybody has their role. Yeah. You're right.
And that's becomes like culture, restaurant culture. And from there it's just like becomes like it's a restaurant.
So basically, you're creating like a culture, like you said. So everybody has their own role, and of course, you were making things now, but now you are a master chef. But you are training other people.
Not even close.
So let's talk about that. If someone listening to this conversation who are on the fence that they're gonna open a restaurant or not, because restaurant business is very notorious about chaos, low margins, low markups, and all that kind of a thing. Yeah. What kind of advice you would give it to that person? Hey, listen, you need to basically go by your gut and just make it happen kind of thing.
That advice I will only give after asking a couple of questions, if not a few. Why you're opening it? Because you just have the money to open a restaurant and you want to have a restaurant. It's a side project because you're bored. That's not going to work. This is going to be like either a mediocre restaurant because it doesn't have love. Things has to have love. It's as cheesy as it sounds. You got to have the love for it.
You need to know why you're opening it.
Yeah.
Because if you just opening it, like you said, just you want to cook things or things like that, it's not going to work, because you have to have a why.
Yeah.
There's a very famous life coach, Jim Rohn. I don't know if you're familiar with it or not. He passed away a long time ago. He used to say that, hey, if your why is strong enough, your how become easier.
Yes.
So you need to find how strong your why is. Like you were saying, when you started, you loved the food, you wanted the process, you loved the process, you loved the making things happen and things like that. So that's a very key word you just said. That, hey, why you want to opening it, and then of course then you need to learn how.
You get to learn it, and a lot, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm not in like a closed circle or anything. I know people from all different industries, but somehow, like, little of the people that at least I'm surrounded with, they know this, But I usually let's say this. I have a lot of young cooks, people starting out still and so on, and they always ask me because, and I love it because this conversation starts with like, Chef, how did you open this? How did you do this? And I know I ask why you asking, and I know the answer is because they want to open a restaurant.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is why you want this. I was like, now you are learning on my expense. I was like, you're learning from my mistakes, what I'm doing. You're learning from my mistakes. You're learning what not to do. From the things I'm doing, you're learning what to do. And those together, plus your time here, plus your time probably at other places, eventually, you're going to have all those tools. And this is going to only bring you closer to your goal and you to be successful. And then you're going to still make a few mistakes, but you're going to recover easier because it's like being in the river and you have your floaty device.
So
you're
you're
not gonna
mentoring.
drown, you're going to swallow some water, though, Yeah.
No, that's beautiful, that because you are mentoring those young folks who want, like you said, they want it. The thing is that a lot of people actually don't know what's happening behind the scene, and they just see the success.
Yeah.
So now in 4 years you become to the top restaurants now. That's what they're seeing right now. So you are on chapter 20. They are in chapter 1, but they just want to be on chapter 20 right away.
Yes, and that becomes a different advice. As like, there's two things. There's people that work at a place, like when it's crafty, like you have like it's different departments, that work at a place with the same position for 10 years or 15 or 20 years, and then they want to open this business. At least in our industry, in the hospitality industry, that doesn't work. Because you have been in this position or with this company for 20 years or 10 years, let's say 10 years. This is a good amount. You should have, within those 10 years, started here and you're here, which means like you have learned the business. You have the tricks of the business. You learn the flow, the annual flow of the business. You know the markets, how they change if this country is in war, if there's this happening, if there's tariffs, how the price is going to increase, when to increase your prices and so on, to be able to pay your employees and not piss off your guest. Business, what the business needs, what's the bills of the business. But creatively, if you didn't do your due diligence on your personal time, you only know that cuisine. You only know this. Your creativity is very limited. So there's the two advices of like, you got to stick to a place to learn on someone else's expense how to do actual business. And for creativity and the love of the craft, you got to travel and do things and learn from other people.
Let's talk about, in Western food or in America or Western culture kind of thing. Mm-hmm. What ingredient do you think that is really misunderstood or underutilized in Western dinners or Western food?
First, top of my head, confidently, is the spices.
Okay.
I think spices are misunderstood and underutilized for a couple of reasons. It's misunderstood because I believe a lot of people with less knowledge about spices, they think it just makes things spicy or too much or overwhelming or overwhelms the product. But I believe it's just like salt and pepper. It has an element in there to actually showcase the main thing you're trying to feature, and if it's like a steak, if it's chicken, if it's peas, whatever it is, spices in general, if you are familiar with how to like combine them, the flavor profiles, what's the difference in the nutmeg, what's the taste notes on it, and so on. How do you combine it with this? Would you need to combine more cinnamon with it or not to make it like to add that aroma into the food? And the other one, the underutilized, is that I feel like there is. It's not a trend. I would say it's more of like a belief. It's like all you need is just the steak. It's simple. Just serve the steak. The steaks, well, steaks, yes. Okay,
Like a
that's bad
salt and
example.
pepper only?
Yeah, like the fish. It just needs salt and pepper. It's perfect alone. Yes. The fish is perfect if it's a good. It always should be a good quality fish. It should be the freshest fish ever. Salt and pepper is good, but I do not cook boring. I do not.
I
Cook
like
boring.
that. I love that. I do not cook boring.
I do not cook boring. I want
That
it to
should
be
be your
fun.
tagline.
Yeah, I do not cook boring. I like it. I want to see what I can add to it. This is how I test my abilities and my knowledge in spices. If I make all my spice mixes together. I mix my spice mixes for my, this goes with this, for my shrimp, for my this, for my dips, for my we have spice mixes for everything that I have combined. It didn't come from a recipe from Google or from this books. Some are toasted, some are not. Some are burnt, some are not. Some are toasted in a pan. Some are super slow and toasted like you would toast sugar. There's reasons to do things. You can read and learn about them through books, through the internet, and so on. But they elevate your food. They give you like this. It's aromatics in life.
Flavor and aroma. You said.
It's a fish with salt and pepper is like a coloring book that doesn't have really any colors in it. Like this is really what it is. Like with a fish,
It's an art.
Yeah, throw in a little crushed like maybe cumin in it and smell that nice earthy citrus flavors on there. It's not gonna ruin the snapper. It's actually elevating it. And that's what people nowadays are looking for. People are. I believe, at least I'm speaking from my opinion, is that I believe like people had this in a million ways, this spaghetti, this fish, this steak. They had it in a million ways, right? They tried it at home. Their mom, their wife, their girlfriend, themselves, their husbands, whatever, their kids cooked for them, and like they tried it. But when they go to a restaurant, they want to try something new.
Yes.
They do not want to see just simple home cooking, at least like for families that are cooking at home. And I like to incorporate everything that's possible, vinegars and so on. The other one that I had a lot, at least cooks, up and coming young cooks, think I'm crazy about is acid. Acid is very important.
Acid?
I also like, selfishly, I love acid a lot. I used to bite through a lemon, just, which ruins your teeth, and I stopped. But I like acid. I like the citrus flavors, different combinations of them, how they play with the food. Obviously, people know it from marinations and so on, but there's a different way. Like when you deglaze a pan with lemon juice, it tastes a little different than just squeezing a fresh lemon on top of it after it's done, folding it quickly and so on. That freshness of citrus, it's different. So this is good for seafood, but I would deglaze for like maybe red meat or chicken, Like you get to learn those combinations and figure out the science behind those chemical reactions and so on to elevate flavor. And this is what it comes with, especially those Eastern cuisines, that is very important. Like you do not just season, throw in cinnamon and so on. You got to bloom your spices, get the oils out of it and so on, and cook. Sometimes you need to remove that, and you keep the oils that have you, and the oils of the spices that you bloomed in the pot itself. You do not need the cloves to stay there or anything. You remove those. That's very home cooking,
And also cinnamon, I mean, not to interrupt you, but cinnamon also in Western culture, they use it as a dessert kind of thing. But in our culture,
or
in Middle Eastern culture, we use it in like a savory food.
Yeah.
And also cinnamon is very good for your stomach and all that kind of a thing too. It's good for your gut.
The nutrition. So usually, even when I cook, when I'm R&Ding, we're talking to the cooks or so on, or like in brand new dish, I'm very excited about. If it's a brand new dish, it's always I'm excited about. But like I'm talking to line up with the staff or with the guests or so on. I'm like, I'm using this, and just so you know, it does sound weird, but this is very good for you. It does this, and this is good for your heart, and so on. explaining like the team just came up like with a beef heart tartare that's served raw, but we had to study like how to figure it out correctly. This cut, how long has it been out?
That's what
like
I was
the
gonna ask
butchery
you too.
Yeah.
Who comes up with the new ideas?
So ideas, like mainly it's the chef usually. So it's me, you know. But this is a very collaborative like kitchen teamwork. Like this is how I like running it and so on. So we have multiple people that come in with the idea. Some of them execute it from A to Z. Some of them like through little advice here or like guidance to fit flavor or like concept and so on. And eventually a dish comes in. Maybe the sous chef will need to jump on this person's idea like for plating or presentation or like a cooking technique in case like a sauce is not up to par or something. It's all teamwork really. Like it takes multiple brains. We come up with it. Even when I make it, it still goes through the whole process. You know, of like I get my chefs around. I'm like, okay, taste this. What do you think? And I sometimes like. Now they're gonna figure it out because I'm gonna say it. But sometimes I test them. You know, I try to trick them. I'm like, does it need more citrus? Because I taste it's probably like a lot of citrus. You know, I'm like, does it need more citrus? And then when they say no. I'm like, no, it's a lot, right? And they will say, no. I'm like, you still need to work on your taste buds. I messed this up, you know. But
that's a training. So,
yeah. And sometimes when I'm like, okay, I was like, I plated something. I was like, I like the dish. I hate the plating. We need to figure something out, you know. And they come in, and sometimes we end up like omitting or adding ingredients. Usually, it's omitting or like fixing how they are prepared to make it like look nicer or without. Compromising quality or integrity of a dish. It's just teamwork. It's like sitting on a project, like a college project, and figuring it all out.
Like a science project.
And we come up with it, and we actually have a lot of fun. And this is like what we call it, like extracurriculum. And every day we have one of them. You know.
So you said that the word. So do you have like? I'm sure you have a guidelines that of course you go through, but do you have some kind of like a program or like a study material that the new guy who comes, like you're training someone, they have to go through all that?
So it is within the kitchen.
Okay.
Physically, as like stations, you know, every kitchen, like just like
a manual kind of thing.
Yeah, it's not like a physical thing. Like here's the manual I give you or so on, because those kind of kitchens like we do, it's not like we're not bringing in an enormous amount of people and so on. It's not like working for a big chain where everything is set like in part, like this is how you do this is where you start, this is station. For us it becomes more like the kitchen is not separated but separated into stations, individual stations, and we have like the roast, we have saute, we have entremet, we have a dip station, we have salad station, gourmet, we have the pastry, we have the bakery and so on. And we hire based on like talent. Are we hiring a person because we need a new blood in the kitchen and we need to train someone that never cooked? We had those. This always Calliope had at least one of them, fresh one, and people that's still growing within, you know. And I have did this even before Calliope in previous kitchens I ran and so on. I always like people like green, we call them, like they do not know anything, but they are interested in cooking. They want to learn it, and they usually become like the greatest chefs usually, because they just like, you have that motivation, you know, enthusiasm for food. I want to hire a baker. You're learning that, you know, and we start usually executing the station. Rather than prepping it and figuring it out, is how to work it. How you work it, it removes a lot of stress. It calms them down, you know. And then like, we're gonna teach you how to make dough. All right, we learn dough. You're very confident with it. We're gonna learn how to divide it, weigh it, and so on. So we take it in phases where he can multitask. Well, like some he doesn't. It's already prepared. You just need you to do this and this and this. It's done. But at the same time, before we open for service, you're learning how to make this part of it, you know. And there is kind of like mental manual kind of thing that's guided, because I like more of like a strategy of like the chef is the maestro, and you maestro it is exactly. like every day, you know, depending on what the business need, what the vibe need, with the team members on what station it is. So I come in, I have Wednesday, I have this person, I have this product. My job is to make the guest experience the 120%. How I'm gonna utilize all those tools in front of me, and that's how you guide it. You maestro it. You have to putting ink to paper and making it like what the same plan doesn't work every day.
Yeah, yeah. So, what do you see Calliope next 5 years?
Still, when I come from a culture and so on, this is like I need to knock on every single piece of wood in this. I don't want to jinx it, but I would say like staying on the path and continuing going forward. With a goal, I do not want to say.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because the goal might change,
Yeah.
but I do not think it'll change, to be honest. But I think I'm gonna continue representing my culture and the
Traditions.
heritage of through food and so on in my own modern twist. My call it progressive, and continue with that. Take it as far as it's gonna grow, as far as I can get creative with it, as far as I can grow a team with it, as far as I can highlight it within regionally, nationally.
After nominated the top 50 restaurant, how's your mom was?
I think my right now it's like she's proud of accomplishments of mine, the business and so on. She's excited. She always like wish me the best, and that's how like this relationship is at that point. Like she's excited, but they like knock on wood, they keep coming. So,
They're
like,
probably gonna say, "I wish you were a doctor or an engineer."
Eventually, yes.
Yeah.
I do think. I think it's unspoken now. Like they were upset, obviously. When you leave schooling 2 degrees and so on, and you go ahead and start cooking, be like, I think you're stupid. Like that's how I think. I think they talk to me. I remember like I'm insane. Like you can leave this. Like this will make you also like not also. This will make you good money. You wanna cook, and obviously different cultures and so on. It's very hard in how like the financial system is, how people get paid overseas. Like being a cook, versus being an engineer is like day and night. But there's something else that's different in the US.
It is right. There's a
different
culture.
in the West.
Yeah.
The way the financial system works, the minimum wage, and so on, all that. You can build yourself from it. Doesn't matter. You can reach even more. Doesn't matter what industry you are in. You can be. Very
That's what I
successful.
usually say in America. I mean, that's the country that you can, if you have a hustle and a commitment, you can make it. Doesn't matter. You don't need nothing against education or anything.
No,
but
education is very important.
Yeah, but you can make in America without a degree.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it. That's why we talk about, remember, there is only the word dream is attached to America. There's American dream. There's no British dream or Australian dream or, Middle Eastern dream or Pakistani dream. So, and you're right, the culture, in our culture, like, in Pakistan or India, same thing, like you can go, I usually say that all the time, that you go to your 2 careers if you want to be a doctor or a failure. So, I mean, and you're the same thing, engineer, doctors, or accountant or something like that. If you are not that, how are you going to make money?
Yes. So, obviously, after college, picking this path, there was kind of like, the disappointment I do, like now that I'm older and so on, I don't think it's just disappointment. I think, like you'll agree, probably the fear of like, okay, they're not always going to be around. What's going to happen with your life, So it stems from that. But got upset with me, stopped talking to me for a little, and eventually, like, I am glad that I got a little like pissed off. I was like, no, I'm gonna do what I like. This is what I love doing. Like, there was no compromise at that point. There was no talk, and I have a huge respect for family so on. It's cultural, and that was one thing. That was the sort of thing. Like, I'm not gonna compromise. Like, I can see myself doing good in this. Like, I do not want to do anything else.
No, that's why you are on the top, because what you not only love, this is who you are. You basically, this is your identity, that you want to make things to the top level, and you want to cook. You love the process. You love cooking. You're creating different, cuisine dishes kind of thing. And so let's talk about legacy. We probably gonna, wrap this up if we're talking. Otherwise, I can talk to you like
same. I can. We can sit here.
But of course, we have to make sure our audience is not getting,
Yeah,
antsy.
bored.
Yeah,
And get back to the restaurant for Khaled.
yeah, yeah. So I know you're not married yet. You don't have any kids yet,
No.
correct? So Khaled legacy. Let's say what kind of a legacy you wish that you will leave for your future kids?
So first of all, being there's a couple, and it's not like I'm not really thinking about it. I know it already. I will lead with how they can affect people, if that's the correct way to say it. How in their careers, as not just like work careers, in their life. Let's say, how would they affect people's lives? There will be a lot of mistakes growing up, but it can always end up being very good, something to be looked up to, as like always fighting. Even sometimes some people will think you are rude or this, but it's like just being like completely blunt and protective of a vision, not compromising on it, because this is the way you can help them and so on. And then it comes to fruition and people can see that. They'll be like, okay, he was right. I want them to see that they need to in the right spots. That my legacy is like, trust yourself, trust your gut feeling, be educated about it though,
Yeah.
not out of ignorance. Take care of your people always before you take care of yourself. Take care of yourself towards, but not in excess. Take care of yourself, then the excess will come alone. And the other real thing that is like more realistic is like I'm like zero generation here. So what if I get married, my family and so on? I'm building my family name. I'm building who they are. So there's that of setting up the family correctly, of who we are, what we do, and so on. And the legacy, I wanted to show like respect what we brought to Chattanooga as the cuisine, and there's a lot still more to come, of like what we are building, how we open this heritage in the way of food, I'm very interested not just in serving food, but it all has to do with food.
Food is the legacy, right?
That's what I like, that's the only thing really like I like to discuss the most. So it can be very boring for other people.
No, I mean it's not. No, I mean nothing is boring about. So can we like look forward to a second location of Calliope?
It could be, yes.
Okay.
It could be. There's a lot of things. It's just so many things in the air right now. Yeah.
I think off the camera we talk about a little bit the last time. So,
Yes.
But anyway, we'll talk more about that off the camera.
Off the camera. Yeah.
So the final question I have for you is: so when somebody new come to your restaurant, Calliope, what kind of experience you want them to feel in your restaurant?
I want them to feel like they're at home through like emotions, feelings, when they're sitting with their friends and so on, knowing that they want to be loud, be loud. You want to laugh, come as you are. It's not stuffy, but it is excellent upscale food and experience. I want them to know that you do not need to like wear a suit to come and get the most amazing experience, food, drinks, whatever, beverage. I want them to feel that family connections with friends. I want it to be more personal between them and us, like becoming like more of the hospitality. We're curating it around them. It's not about us, it's about you. And we're adding those like little like nice
touches,
which is the food, the beverage, the music, the ambience, the vibe in general kind of thing. Because they're gonna talk, they're gonna try this. The hummus comes with one pita. Then there's always, for people that they haven't tried it, be like, oh, there's one pita, then I need to rip this, then pass it on, rip it. And this is breaking barriers. People are weird when it comes to food, like sitting here, I'm sitting there, I want my own pita. I'm like, you can get another pita, but you're going to eat this first. It's breaking bread.
Breaking bread, yes.
Yes, it's normal. This is the least you can do with someone, a friend that you already decide to have dinner with them. This is cool, you do it. Obviously for business dinners and so on, we don't do that. We do a little differently, But like when you're sitting around with your wife, girlfriend, husband, boyfriend, family, mom, and that, like it's all sharing. You're digging in this plate, you're digging in that plate, you're eating, you're talking about what's happening. with Jack? What's happening with this? And you also like, wow, dude, this hummus is crazy. Like, okay, and you're talking about food. Oh, have you tried my drink? You know, Dad, what's happening with you? Oh, wow, can I get this? This is amazing. You want to try it? You know, it's like, it's jumping between subjects, doing this. It's that vibe. It's supposed to be having fun, dropping worries, and so on. This is what really I want to present, you know.
Nice, very nice. Leave your worries out the door and come bring all your joy and happiness and have a meal together.
Yeah, usually when people be like, I'm coming with, I came with my wife and so on, but we want to bring friends and so on. I was like, you can have more fun.
Yeah.
Table experience. Some people will be like, it was different experience. I'm like, yes, it's 100%. Eating alone with your wife is completely different experience than eating with the other people. You know, it's not the same.
I mean, of course, you know, you can have a date, and date and all that kind of a thing with your wife and your girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, it's totally different experience when you have multiple people. And on the table and talk about that. No, that's great.
Like, even if you think about it for like the restaurant aspect, we're still giving them amazing experience. And so we're going through everything what we're supposed to do that we dictate for us, how we want you to feel. But talking to you as two people, they say like it's your anniversary because you told us it's your anniversary when you booked. It's romantic and so on. This is the style we're giving you. It's all the same style, but there's those touches to it, you know, the extra like, all right, give them some time, let them be, they're being romantic. Then you have the fourth, then them two came in with another couple and they all catching up. This guy's talking over her, so on. You need to take, it doesn't matter where you're sitting, it's a little more rowdy, they want to have fun and so on. The service vibe is going to be a little different for you, you know, everything changes, the frequency changes.
Yeah. The environment. I mean, people usually like to experience the food, the environment, the culture, and the service mostly. You know, so no, that's great. There's anything you would like to add before we wrap this up?
Just thank you for hosting me.
Oh no,
I really enjoyed like being here and talking to you.
I mean, this is like I said, we can talk, next an hour or so. But I said, first of all, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And again, congratulations on being top 50 restaurant in America by New York Times. But great achievement. And like I said, I saw your growth because I'm living in this town and I see. I love your restaurant. I love the food.
Thank you.
So thank you again, Chef Khaled.
Thank you.
And we'll actually gonna bring you back and we'll talk more about some other food stuff. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Maybe some food history.
Food history, yes. We're gonna talk about that. So thank you so much again for coming. Okay. What an unbelievable masterclass in passion, pivot, and persistence. If Chef Khaled's story taught us something today is that when you mix your deepest root with the relentless work ethic, you don't build business, you build legacy. If you are in Chattanooga, do yourself a favor, try Calliope firsthand. And for other listeners, thank you tuning in for Knowledge Seeker. If this episode inspired you to take a leap of faith, please hit that subscribe button, share with someone who really needs this. Thank you again. Until then, we'll see you next time. Keep seeking, keep growing, and keep learning.